Hey guys, Scott here. I am suffering from the second COVID vaccine, so I am hyper fucking dead. But I do want to talk about my ideas for addressing Survive with Friends. I don't think it's that big of a deal, but obviously it is an advantage over just not being in it. And I wanted to actually go over ideas to fix it. Now, the thing is, you can't really address it by removing things from, like, you can't remove communication from Survive with Friends. That just doesn't work. Because even if you can't regulate, like, you can't regulate Discord or anything like that. So those kind of solutions are unrealistic. Really, the only option that you have, instead of removing things from Survive with Friends, you should give more information to solo queue and just base killer. And by doing that, you bring things sort of closer together. The whole goal here is to bring things closer together, because when you have like solo queue and then you have killer and then you have like super sweaty four-mans, that's three separate video games. You can't like balance for three separate games at the exact same time. It just doesn't work. So I think homogenizing it quite a bit is the best way to go about doing it. So how do you do that? First, I think solo queue is the weakest thing in the game. Most of the time. Sometimes you get really unlucky and everyone's very good, but for the most part, solo queue is, I think, weaker than killer. So what I would do for solo queue is just give them the ping system that I made earlier. I didn't make up the idea of ping systems, but I made a video about it. Basically, like, you can have a little text appear next to your portrait. I'm going for the save. I'm on the hook. I'm doing this gen. I'm on a gen. Just very simple pings like that, just to give solo some form of communication that's not voice chat. This will bring them a bit closer to Survive with Friends while also not, breaking anything. It's not giving them too much information. It's just making them a bit closer. Like, the whole goal is get everything, closer together. Now, for killer, since we're not going to be changing Survive with Friends at all, because if you nerf Survive with Friends, then you just have the whole stigma of you're punishing people for playing with your friends. Everyone's upset. It's not a good idea. So instead of doing that, we need to give more information to killer. And there's a couple of ways to do that. And I've always had the idea that I think you should be able to see who's in a Survive with Friends before the match starts. And it definitely has a couple of, debated points on that. The biggest comeback I see to that is, well, people will just dodge lobbies then. And my rebuttal to that is, so what? Killer queues are significantly faster than survivor queues. If you're a killer and you join a lobby that's a 4-man and you don't want to play against it, just re-queue. You'll be in another game in 10 seconds. It's not a big deal. Whereas survivor has the much longer queues. And so I think that actually won't be an issue. Additionally, I think people really overestimate how many people care about going against 4-mans. I know there are definitely people that don't want to do it, and you should have the choice to not do it if you don't want to. But I think most people actually won't really care. They'll see it and just be whatever. Additionally, you could also give, simple things like a blood point incentive. If you are committing to a match where it is like, a 4-man team, you should get some bonus blood points or just something. Maybe like the pipping system is like 1 pip. You get like +1, bar in some category just for, just to account for the advantage that they would have. And, just stuff like that. I think that is the better way to do it. I would much rather just let people know that they're going against a Survivor Friends, because I don't think it would be that bad, because it used to be like, well, back in the day, you really wouldn't want that, because you could see a Survive with Friends and then go, hey, I'm going to switch to Omega Blink Nurse with, Amori and Noed. And yeah, that sucks, because those guys might just be friends sticking around. They might not even be good, and that's massively overkill on one side. But nowadays, you're locked into the killer. There's like no Moris anymore, basically. They've really toned down the maximum amount of crazy shit you can do kind of on both sides. So, if like you load into a lobby as Clown, it's not really super scary for the Survive with Friends if the guy stays, because what's he going to do? He's still going to be playing Clown, he just might play sweatier. I think if you want to get the advantage that communication brings, you should also give the killer the information that guys are going to have more coordination, because you can work around a lot of Survive with Friends stuff. You can change your gameplay based on how they're communicating and actually gain some advantages off of it. Also, typically, they're going to be more altruistic and things like that. Most people are not playing like a sweat D-Pip squad and just sitting on gens and leaving in 4 minutes, because why would you do that? There's no incentive to do that. So most people are going to be doing like altruistic friend things, and if you know that you're getting into that in advance, I think that would make it a lot more fair, because I think Survive with Friends is really, it catches you off guard and you're not ready for it. I think that's the problem. If you know what you're getting into, I think it's a lot more fair and a lot of the problems will go away. There were also other ideas. People said that you should just you should be told who was in a Survive with Friends after the match and be given basically a reward based on that. But while I think that's a much safer option, I still would prefer giving the killer the information for the match, not after the match. I don't want to say, "Oh, I lost because of this." I want to know what I'm getting into first. So I really think the counterpoint of people will just dodge lobbies is overstated because, okay, just dodge lobbies until you don't get one. Killer queues are really not that long. There are more people playing Survivor than Killer, so you're not really going to be waiting that long, so I don't think it's that big of a deal. Anyway, those are the main ideas. Like, short of changing the actual game itself, there's really, like, not much you can do. I think part of this game is embracing how wildly imbalanced it is sometimes, just because you get a super sweaty four-man, like, then the next game, it could be a super sweaty spirit with, like, iridescent add-ons and stuff like that. It's playing super sweaty. Like, killers can do the exact same shit as super sweaty four-mans. It's just sort of a random dice roll of what you're going to get when you get into it. And I think that's part of the game. You just have to accept there's a lot of you can go against absolutely nothing or ridiculous god shit, and that's just, I think, part of the game. So that's why these suggestions are sort of tame, and I don't think you should really change that much, but I think these things would help a bit. Sorry, I know I was not very well spoken this video. The vaccine, I literally have not slept. I've just been shaking all night. Oh, man. Fuck, this sucks. But yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. See ya.